So we're going to purchase the first challenge of the series. $100,000 is the first challenge size that we're going to purchase on the series. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with firms that I've had personal recommendations to use in the past. So you can see the options I am selecting here. We're going for a two-step, mainly because the rules are usually more lenient on a two-step. The pricing is fair. And we're going to go for Pro, not Swing, because I don't need to have a Swing account. We're going to go for 10%, which means we do have a larger target size, 15% total profit required to get onto the funded stage, as opposed to the 8 and 5%, which is 13%, but it does give us a lot more drawdown. As you know, I trade with higher risk, which means I need that higher drawdown to hopefully pass the challenges. Then we make it $100,000, and you can see you can choose the platform here. We're just going to go with MetaTrader 5, and I'm going to choose bi-weekly payouts. The reason being, I don't care about waiting 2 weeks, and I feel like that actually does encourage good trading. And on demand, they do have requirements that relate to a consistency rule, which I personally don't agree with, so I'm not going to go on that. And I'm not going to use an EA, and I don't really need raw spread, but I'm going to pick raw spread. The reason being, the spread that I usually find on prop firms is quite high. I don't want to be experiencing that. So what I'm going to do is choose raw spread, and we're just going to eat up the commissions. When I'm using 10 pip stop losses, if I have an extra 0.5 pips or an extra 0.8 pips, it definitely does eat into your profits, and it makes your losses slightly bigger and it makes your wins slightly smaller too. So that's something you obviously need to take into consideration when you are trading. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a coupon code, and we're going to apply a code. So we're actually $397, and we're going to tick all of these acknowledgements. I'm going to put in my details, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to proceed. I'm going to confirm, and now we go to the payment page. And we have now purchased the first prop firm of the series. So we are logged into the account now. We have $100,000. So hopefully the next time you see me will be on Monday morning, and we will have ideally some trades. We want to pass these challenges. We don't want to take 6 months to pass. We want to get it over and done with as soon as possible. And I'm okay with risking 2 to 3% per trade to actually get that done. It might seem like I'm risking too much to the people watching this video, but when you realize that I'm comfortable losing £1,000 worth of challenges before then getting a payout, then you guys will understand. If you're in a situation where you can do that, again, you can then consider doing it how I do it. But I've had over 6 figures in payouts, so I pretty much know what I'm talking about. And prop firms now are very, very cheap in comparison to what they were 2 or 3 years ago. I remember in 2022, 2021, spending around £500 for a $100,000 challenge account. Nowadays, you can get one for £250 to £300. So the cost is 40% less, but you're getting the same challenge, which means you can afford to fail in that difference that you were spending before. And that is the way I look at it. But what I'm going to do this weekend, the golf is on, it is the Open. We're going to be watching some of that. We're going to be chilling. The weather is absolutely horrendous in the UK. So there's not going to be any tennis. There's not going to be any golf. There's not going to be any nice content to show you, because it's going to be thunderstorms for the next week. So you're not going to get any good day in the live content, but hopefully we get some nice live trading content to make up for that. So I'll catch you guys on Monday. So this morning, we actually had this high here, which was the London high that we've technically broken now by like half a pip. And I didn't get into this trade, but you could say it was a valid trade to get in, down at this level or something with a 1 to 3 risk to reward. So if it comes back down, potentially I will get into this trade if it's still valid. But that is the thought process for today, for the Monday morning. I'm actually busy for the next 2 hours, so I won't be able to be on the charts. But that is the kind of idea we're looking at. So yeah, we could potentially get into this trade here. So as you can see, at around $1,700 in profit right now, we do need to get to $10,000. So obviously quite far away. But if this trade does win, this first trade here, We will be making around $6,000 on this trade alone, which would be absolutely great. And also that means that we'd be on to phase 2 and we'd be able to live quite nicely. But right now, currently at around 2% floating, just over $2,000, which is absolutely beautiful. We're actually skyrocketing now. The entry is pretty perfect on this trade, I might say. The lower entry did not get hit, but this one did, so it's completely fine. This is the entry I should have got, but because I wasn't able to be on the charts before the window where price actually came into this entry, I set a limit slightly lower just in case, because again, I trade challenges very differently to most people, and I'm okay with having different entry types that I have obviously tested. But yeah, hopefully this trade wins and we can start the week off with some profits. We can start the account off with some profits, and also when you win the first trade, it does give you a nice buffer. And once you have that buffer, it means that I can now, let's say this trade hypothetically hits take profit for $6,000, I then have a 6k buffer. So then I can choose, okay, do I want to lower my risk to a 1% risk and make the remaining 4%, or do I want to keep it at 2% and have that free trade buffer to then make that 1 to 2 to actually pass the phase 1. That's kind of the thought process I go into it with, but obviously we're only a third of the way to the take profit, so we're not going to get too ahead of ourselves here, because I know that a trade can reverse immediately, and you guys probably have had that experience too, because it is never nice and it always is quite a memorable, painful experience, and I would not want that to happen to me in this situation. So when you see me win a trade or when you see me lose a trade, the amounts I lose are very precise. The way I'm actually able to calculate my lot size so I know exactly how much I'm going to lose is by using the app named Stinu, an app I've been using since I started trading. I've been a paying member, and if you go on the app, I'm going to quickly show you how it works. You put in your account balance, for me $100,000 for this prop firm account, 2% risk, I'm risking 2% of the account, and my stop loss is 10 pips. So simply put that in, move on to the next screen, and then you simply choose your currency pair. I'm trading GBP USD, press calculate, and I can very, very quickly see the lot size that I'm actually looking to use. You can go into the settings, change the currency of the account you're trading. So sometimes I switch between GBP for my personal accounts, USD for the prop firm capital. So I can quickly change between the accounts in a matter of seconds. So I'm able to accurately calculate the lot size without having to do a currency conversion, which is always great. And then I'm already able to see that I'm going to use 20 lots. And if you see the trades I'm actually taking in this video, they're all 20 lots. So now I know when I set a limit, 20 lots is the lot size I'm going to use. And if I wanted to add a pip on for spread, I can quickly see if I want to have an 11 pip stop loss, 18.18 is a lot size that I would use. So scan the QR codes on the screen or check out the link in the description to download Stinu now. So the moment of truth is coming, and we are very, very close to the take profit. As you guys can see there, a matter of pips away now. And as you see, we got a beautiful entry on this trade too. Right down there, and it's just skyrocketed ever since. And hopefully, I can get it hitting take profit on the trading view there, and on the MetaTrader 5 here. So that is the goal for this here. So we need around 5 more pips to the take profit to actually hit it, and then we can be done for the day. TP should be hitting now. There we go. TP hit on TradingView on MetaTrader 5, and that is very, very nice. And that is the exact way we want to start the week in the markets. A nice $6,000 profit. It's just absolutely beautiful start to the week. Beautiful start to the challenge account. You know, we need to make 10%. We're already 60% of the way there, which means now we only need 20 pips, risking the same 2% to actually pass the phase 1, which will give us that 10%, which will give us what we need to move on to phase 2, which then we need to make 5%, which is 1 to 2.5 risk reward trade, and then we are passed on that stage 2. But this was a very, very successful trade, and I hope you guys did enjoy the live trade aspect of it.